So you've decided to move to the Chicago suburbs, but you're overwhelmed by how many there are and aren't quite sure which one's the right fit for you. Well, in this video, I've taken on the difficult challenge of narrowing down all of the Chicagoland suburbs into just 5 that I believe are the best that Chicago has to offer. And I've made sure to include those that are both close to the city and further away, large and small, affordable and expensive, and that cover the north, south, and west sides of the metro area. Given all of that, I'm confident that at least one of these will be the right fit for you. Hi, my name is Peter, and I'm a realtor here in the Chicago metro area. If you're looking to move here or have some questions about what it is like to live here, feel free to reach out. All my contact info is down below. I'm sure that my team and I can assist you. Okay, so the first suburb on my list is going to be Naperville. Naperville is located just about an hour southwest of Chicago, and it's actually one of the region's largest towns with a population right around 150,000. Naperville frequently makes lists of not only just the best Illinois suburbs, but also some of the best suburbs in the country, and there's plenty of reasons why. Let's start with the schools. And if you live in Naperville, you have either access to District 203 or 204, both of which have stellar programs through elementary, middle school, and high school. Not only are students here challenged academically, but they also have fantastic programs in STEM, the arts, and sports. Needless to say, the schools is one of the biggest reasons why families like to move to Naperville. Now, outside of the schools, Naperville has a fantastic and very walkable downtown. And unlike other suburbs, which typically only have a downtown that consists of one street, Naperville spreads across several blocks and includes a lot of great shops, restaurants, parks, a riverwalk, and even a man-made beach. It's a great place to grab yourself some dinner, enjoy some live music, get dessert afterwards, and walk along the Riverwalk. And in addition to that, North Central College is also in close proximity to the downtown, which gives it more of a young professional feel and gives it some pretty good nightlife for a suburb. Now, another benefit of living in Naperville is that nearly everything is just a 15 to 20 minute drive, whether that's grocery stores, parks, malls, or any of the amenities that the downtown has to offer. And for a suburb, there's also a fair amount of companies that are located here as well, and yet another reason why a lot of families choose to move to Naperville. But because of all that, housing in Naperville is going to be a lot more expensive than the adjacent suburbs. The median home sales price here is right around $600,000, which is well above the national median. The closer you are to the downtown, the more expensive these homes can get. Of course, there are modest homes for sale as well if you can find them. That being said, generally speaking, cost of living in Naperville is going to be a little higher. So with top tier schools, a vibrant downtown, and close proximity to city-like amenities, Naperville should definitely be on your list of Chicago suburbs. Okay, let's move on to the next suburb on my list, which is going to be Winnetka. Winnetka is just about 45 minutes north of downtown Chicago, and it's part of the North Shore, which is a collection of some of the wealthiest suburbs north of Chicago along Lake Michigan. Now, if Winnetka sounds familiar to you, it might be because this is where the original Home Alone was filmed. In fact, if you go and visit that address during the winter months, chances are you'll see a handful of people right outside the house taking a lot of pictures. Now, for those of you that watch a lot of my videos, you know I'm a big fan of being near Lake Michigan, and that is definitely one of the best things about living in Winnetka. There are plenty of really nice beaches, walking, running, and biking trails, and just a lot of green space to take advantage of in general. And like the other neighborhoods in the North Shore, you have a ton of trees here, a lot of old and historic ones that line the streets, and it gives these towns, and Winnetka in particular, a very distinct character. And Winnetka's location is right in between downtown Chicago and Wisconsin, so if you're somebody that wants a peaceful weekend getaway, you can head up north, or if you want more of a vibrant city weekend, then downtown Chicago isn't too far either. Now, Winnetka actually has 2 downtown areas. You have the main downtown, and then one just about a mile north of it called Hubbard Woods. Now, neither of these are very large. However, they do have a lot of charm in them, and they're perfect for a nice stroll in the afternoon or to meet someone over a cup of coffee or for some lunch. Now, like some other suburbs on this list, Winnetka does give families access to some top-notch public schools. Many of the other schools in the region model after District 36 here in Winnetka, and some of the public schools can actually give off a little bit of a private feel as well. Now, naturally, as with any high net worth town and community, the homes here are going to be very expensive. In fact, Winnetka has some of the most expensive homes in Illinois as a whole, with the median home sales price here coming in at right around $1.5 million. And as you can imagine, the closer you are to Lake Michigan, the more expensive these homes get. And I'm talking multi-million, several figures, Wolf of Wall Street style homes right along the lake there. They're beautiful, but very, very expensive. So needless to say, it does take a pretty penny to afford to live in Winnetka. However, those that are fortunate enough to be able to do so really get to take advantage of a fantastic community feel and a lot of great amenities. Okay, let's move on to the next suburb on my list, which is going to be Oak Park. Oak Park is the first suburb that's immediately adjacent to Chicago on the west side. And not only is it the closest suburb to Chicago on my list, but it's also the most urban, which is a big reason why a lot of people love to move here. Oak Park is very walkable, and in some ways it actually feels more like a Chicago neighborhood than some actual Chicago neighborhoods do. It's a great place for those that still want to be close to Chicago, but wish to trade their condo for a home in better public schools. Oak Park is also a great suburb for those that are going to be frequently traveling into Chicago for work, because it has access to 2 train stops through the Chicago Transit Authority, and you have access to 290, which is the Eisenhower, that can probably get you in and out of the city in just about 20 minutes, as long as there's not a lot of traffic. Now, the downtown is one of the best parts about Oak Park, and it's this really great combination of old and new, with historic buildings and charming streets, alongside new businesses and developments. It offers a great array of shops and restaurants, a state-of-the-art movie theater, and a lot of promotional and community events throughout the year. It also is home to a lot of businesses and has a fair amount of parking, which makes getting in and out definitely a lot easier. Now, one fun fact about Oak Park is that this is where the famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright settled with his wife, and as a result, his design and architecture can definitely be seen throughout the town. Now, the median home sales price here is right around $400,000, and the reason it's a little bit on the lower end is because since it's so close to Chicago, you do have a lot of multifamily housing options, but then again, you do have a lot of single family homes as well, which closer to the downtown are going to be a lot more expensive. Of course, Oak Park is home to some fantastic public schools, and it also is home to some top-notch private schools such as Fenwick High School. It's also worth noting that Oak Park is going to be the most diverse suburb on my list. You have residents from all walks of life that love to live here, and it really does create a strong community feel. Overall, if you're looking for a vibrant, walkable community that's not in Chicago but feels a lot like Chicago, Oak Park has to be on your list. Okay, moving on to the next suburb on my list, it's going to be Orland Park. Orland Park is located just about 25 miles southwest of Chicago, and it's really that suburb that checks all of the boxes, and is probably one of the best options in that part of the metro area. It's not too far from Chicago, but not too close either, has great public schools, and is a lot more affordable than the other suburbs on my list. The median home sales price here is right around $350,000, which makes it perfect for young families and first-time home buyers. Of course, there are some larger homes available in Orland Park as well. However, unlike the other suburbs that I mentioned, you won't have to spend $1 million to get one of those. Now, according to niche.com, Orland Park gets an A+ rating for its public schools, which relative to the cost of housing makes it a great value suburb. Unfortunately, there's not a very central or historic downtown in Orland Park. However, there's still plenty of businesses, shops, and amenities to take advantage of. And not to mention a lot of parks and a lot of golf courses as well. There's also been a fairly noticeable boom in new development here in Orland Park, whether that's new single-family homes or bigger commercial districts, both of which will only add to the excitement for the suburb. Overall, if you're looking for a nice, well-rounded suburb that won't break the bank, Orland Park should definitely be considered. Okay, so that brings us to the last suburb on my list, and that's going to be Barrington, which is located just about 30 miles northwest of Chicago. And at this point, you know the drill, so let's get some of the basics out of the way, such as the public schools, which they're fantastic here in Barrington, and get another A+ rating from niche.com. The downtown here is quaint, however, there's still plenty of options for shops and restaurants, and it does include a metro stop that can get you to and from Chicago really easily. Where some of the other suburbs on my list are more suburb city-like, Barrington is a lot more suburb country-like, because if you go past it, especially further out to the west, you're going to start seeing a lot more open land. It's really going to feel a lot more rural. Now, Barrington is also a wealthy suburb, so if you ever drive through it, you're going to see your fair share of McMansions and a lot of gated communities. The median home sales price here is right around $700,000, and the average lot size is nearly half an acre. Now, one of the main reasons why a lot of people like to live in Barrington is because you get a lot of easy access to nature. There are several forest preserves here that act as natural boundaries for the town and offer a lot of biking, running, and hiking trails, cross-country skiing in the winter, and in general, a ton of green space for recreation. Overall, Barrington offers many of the same benefits as the previous suburbs on my list. However, it's a little bit more quaint and offers a slower paced lifestyle. So if you're looking to move to the suburbs, it should definitely be on your list as well. So there you have it. That's my list of the 5 best Chicagoland suburbs. If you feel that I missed one that should definitely have been on this list, let me know down in the comments below. And if you're looking to learn more about living in Chicago or the metro area, feel free to stick around in this channel because I got a lot more videos on that topic. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.